Yes. All right, welcome back to our Power Breakfast this morning. We're broadcasting live from Serena Beach Resort and Spa right here in Mombasa. Now, yesterday, the governor for Lamu, Issa Timammy, was released or discharged by court from any prosecution after the government failed to prosecute him or to charge him with any offense after 2.5 months of being under, so to speak, police surveillance and in the courts on the violence that erupted and the killings that happened in Mpeketoni. He joins us this morning to look at just what is going on in Mpeketoni and Lamu and all the issues relating to that county, which has suffered recently because of the insecurity there. Bwana Governor, karibu on Power Breakfast.
Asante sana.
It must be great relief that you are off, as they say, off the hook.
I must say it is.
Yes.
What I underwent is not something that I will wish anyone to go through that experience, especially where you really were not at fault, have not committed any crime. I keep on saying I had nothing to do with the Mpeketoni attacks. Those are our people, and I condemn the heinous crimes that were perpetrated and visited on innocent people. So it is, I say again, a great relief that I believe justice has prevailed.
Yeah. What was the court's finding in discharging you yesterday?
I think the court's ruling was quite short because, one, technically, I had not been charged yet. I was hauled to court on basis of allegations made against me, and the court said that after all this time, and the prosecution side were not able to present any cogent evidence which would have enabled them to charge me. So based on that, the court felt I should be discharged. Yeah. And you know, initially when I was arrested, the prosecution had requested for 14 days to do the investigation. And after that, they came back, they wanted 2 months. And the last time when we were in court, they were now requesting an open-ended time that
to keep in court while they continue the investigations. Yes, without limit, any time limit.
Yes, yes.
Okay, you are free, and obviously you celebrate that, and you are happy to be free. But what does that leave? Where does that leave the quest for justice with regard to the whole Mpeketoni killings, over 70 people dead? Does that mean the state basically is defeated to find the criminals?
I can't say that. There are other people who have been arrested and charged, and I believe even their cases have begun.
Yeah, there are two people who have been charged.
Yes.
But in your case, why do you think this happened? What is your understanding? That you were charged and being innocent. Why you as a politician, as governor? Why did it happen?
I believe that most likely it's due to politics. People who are against me, I think, went and made statements to the security people, statements which they couldn't back. And I think it's based on those statements that I was arrested and taken to court.
In that case, what do you want to do about that? After you've been charged? No.
Not even charged, arrested.
I mean, arrested and incarcerated for a few days in
yes.
police. What do you want to do about that?
I think what is important, we need to heal the people of Lamu. It's not about now looking for revenge, and that won't take us anywhere. We have already wasted a lot of time And I believe people of Lamu yearn for development. I campaigned on the basis that we want to bring positive change to the people of Lamu. Even in spite of the myriad of court cases I've been facing, we have still tried to bring development to Lamu. We could have done better without these cases, but still there are a lot of positive steps and initiatives that we have undertaken. But all in all, I look at it from the point of view that we need to move forward. If now I start saying now I am going to look for the people who made these allegations against me, that will be retrogressive.
Well, there was a petition against your election as the governor of Lamu,
yes, which
was dismissed a few days ago. Is the Paketon's incident anything to do with that petition, or your arrest? Has it got to? Is there a connection?
I can't directly say that there is any connection between my arrest and this petition, but I am an advocate myself of over 30 years standing, and it's always important that we follow the rule of law. There is a petition, let the courts decide, and whatever the courts decide, we will abide by that. But I again say that elections happen every 5 years, and if one loses, the best thing is to wait for the next and prepare, rather than hauling the incumbent into courts and in the process really affect the people of Lamu.
So, I mean, of course, going forward also means that we have to confront the cause of the violence that happened. What do you attribute that outbreak or those attacks to yourself? Because, I mean, as governor, people expect you to know what is happening within your county, even though you're not in charge of the security, but you're sufficiently connected on the ground, on the, with the networks to know, even anticipate these attacks. So how do you explain these attacks?
I can tell you initially, on the first day when it happened, I was actually in Lamu. And the following day, it happened over Sunday night, Monday morning. The following day, I, with a number of other officials of the county government, we headed to Mpeketoni and to other affected areas, Kibaoni and the rest. And I talked to a number of survivors who actually witnessed these attacks, and all of them were confirming or informing me that the attackers were Al-Shabaab. So there is that angle. But when you say that I should have networks who inform me, unfortunately, I don't have networks.
I mean, I'm not using networks in the context of Olelenku, the Minister for Security,
right.
Cabinet Secretary Olelenku, who said that the attacks were the product of political networks.
Right.
First of all, what do you make of that? But the networks I'm talking about are the fact that as a politician, you have your people on the ground who must inform you, who you must deal with, because you use them to campaign, you use them as a politician to gather information, even on your opponents and those who try to compete against you.
It is true that I have people on the ground, though not as sophisticated as perhaps other politicians. I was never a politician. I tried for the first time, yes. Yeah. But I can tell you here that I think this was really something that none of our people had wind about. So prior to this happening, we had no information that such an attack will happen.
Completely?
Completely.
There are issues of land in that area.
Yes.
Some people have huge chunks of land,
Right.
which are occupied by others. And the owners of these lands, they would like to evict the people living there, maybe either original people or settled people. And some of the explanation is that the attacks were intended to remove these people. Is that a plausible explanation?
You know, I'm a lawyer. I go by evidence. I find it hard that a fellow Kenyan will go to that extent. You know, there are a lot of the problem of land is countrywide, and in all these other places, what people do, if you have issues with illegal squatters and so on, even just recently, hardly 2-3 days ago, here in Mombasa, people were being removed. But people always follow the law. They go to court and get eviction orders and get people removed. But to go to the extent of killing fellow Kenyans, yeah. I find it very hard.
So let's cut to the chase, Governor. What do you attribute those attacks to? Well, you had no foreknowledge of them. They happened. There are so many explanations that have been advanced. What have you established since then?
I think we still now, after a lot of discussions, it appears that the Al-Shabaab were involved
still
in this attack. Yes.
Or is it that it was very uncharacteristic of Al-Shabaab to kill men and discriminate against, they were killing men and leaving women and girls? Why is it is not characteristic of Al-Shabaab unless they adopt new tactics?
I cannot comment what was going on in their minds. Whatever it is, it was heinous, it was wrong, but from the information that I've managed to gather, and you know, this prior to the Mpeketoni attack, about a month or so before it, some KDF soldiers were killed near the border with Somalia. I think that was a precursor to these attacks. Perhaps our security should have been more alert after that incident.
What do you make of the government's explanation that this was a political networks? In fact, that is what the minister said before he came down, and that script has not changed, despite all these claims that it's Al-Shabaab.
Well, I think the minister should be the one to explain that. But I can tell you here that the people of Lamu, they can never, and I repeat, they can never kill because of land. They can make noise, agitate, yeah. But to kill.
But isn't it true that there had been tension prior to this happening, even from the last election, about what they call natives of Lamu and people from inland who have acquired property there, and as a result of that, there was in fact negotiated political arrangements where you were governor and somebody else from the mainly Kikuyu settlement there to be your deputy governor. Positions elective had been shared out as a way of accommodating those challenges.
I don't think it was actually a question of sharing out positions, but every politician, you look at the situation,
yes, and
you say, how are you going to win the election? And you come up with your own strategy. But I don't think there is any particular formal arrangements that between the people who live in Lamu that this is how we should share. But it is true that there has been a lot of hue and cry about land ownership. That is true. And it is important that the issue of land be resolved. And I can tell you, we have already, as a county government, we have sat and deliberated about the land issue with my executive. And we believe that there are certain things that if it's done, we should be able to resolve the land issue. One, we have to address the issue of landlessness between the original people of Lamu. We also have the issue of squatters who have come in. They have also to be settled. We also have the issue of the pastoralists, because if all the land is taken for farming and agriculture, and we have quite a big community of pastoralists, then these are some of the matters that will come up even in future to cause tension.
Right.
So we have to also address that. And of course, there's the issue of the big estates.
Yes.
That are now in public knowledge.
Yes. The government has taken some measures. Let's look at how effective have those measures been. One, let's go back to after the killings. The government said it's going to help the families that were affected. Obviously, that had to be done in coordination with the county government. Was that successful? Were those people helped? They said they're going to deploy NYS to come and help to restore people. Has that been done? What is the progress in rehabilitating these people?
Okay. First, I must say I want to really commend the Red Cross. It's through them, both the national government and ourselves, we channeled the assistance, especially to those who have been displaced, through them, and they have done a commendable job. Now, the other issue is the destroyed property, especially in Mpeketoni town. Yes, the government did pledge that they will come and help, but unfortunately until now that has not materialized. But we are following up with the national government to make sure that those people are helped, because the wanton destruction of property, especially in Mpeketoni township, you have to see it to see the really the degree of destruction that was visited on Mpeketoni.
So, unfortunately, this interview is not being done in Lamu. It would have been best to talk from the ground.
Yes.
But what is the situation in Lamu like? An update of the ground. Are people comfortable? Are people safe? Are people back to the economic activities? Are people still visiting? Is commerce back? Jobs? Let's look at the welfare of Lamu, your county now.
Right. I think the first and foremost, the most important agenda that we have is peace. You know, this the Mpeketoni attack also caused a lot of division and suspicion amongst the Lamu communities. And I think as a responsible government there, our first agenda is to make sure that we return that peace and tranquility amongst the people. Actually, again, with the intervention of the Red Cross, we have been putting the various communities together to discuss, talk things openly, because if we don't talk openly, then we will not really be addressing the core issues. So this has been going on, and I'm very happy to inform you that this Friday, about 60 of them from all the communities in Lamu they will be traveling to Nairobi at the Boma Hotel, where these engagements will be continuing. and I will also be participating in that together with the other leadership, because if we don't talk, we will not resolve. So that is our first effort, to bring people together again. Apart from that, and also the county government, we arranged for a peace caravan by youth who visited practically the whole county. So just to bring back what we say in Kiswahili, uwiano. Yeah? So, and I'm very happy about these efforts. And as leaders, we have met severally all the elected leaders with the county commissioner, just to chat on the way forward. We intend to go around the whole county, all the elected leaders. One, to preach peace, and number two, really to make our people understand that as leaders, we are working together.
The government has declared a curfew in that county.
Right.
And although this section that was attacked is a small area, the Keton area, and now, how is that curfew either helping or disrupting your systems?
Yes, the Inspector General had declared a curfew initially for 1 month. On its expiry, he extended it for another 1 month. I think it will end around the 21st of September. This curfew was declared county-wide, so the whole of Lamu County is under curfew. And one, when you ask its effectiveness, yes, it's been very effective, because we thank God that we have not had any attack or any incident happening since the declaration of the curfew. But at the same time, that's the positive side. On the negative side, the curfew has impacted adversely on our economic activities in Lamu. And we had discussions with the security, and we were requesting that some areas which were really not affected by the mayhem, the curfew be uplifted. And these are areas which are touristic areas, including Lamu Island and the other islands, where also, you know, a lot of activities is fisheries. And we believe that if the curfew is lifted in those areas, it will really help us in our economic revival.
Would you be telling, I mean, this obviously calls for, if you ask me, a Marshall Plan. How much is your government dedicating to the revival of economic activity and return of normalcy in Lamu? Seeing from outside, people would think the place has gone completely dead because you don't expect tourists to come in this scenario. What is the way forward? How are you going to get this back into normalcy? Maybe a major event we are planning
to. We have plans, and already one of our biggest event that happens annually in Lamu is just around the corner. This is Lamu Cultural Festival.
Yes.
It happens in November, and as a government, we intend to invest heavily into that, into advertisement, and to getting especially local Kenyans to come and visit Lamu. I'm surprised that my friend here, you have never been to Lamu.
I've been to Lamu.
Okay. So we want Kenyans to come in. I'm interested more first in local tourism.
Yeah.
It's only when local tourism comes that the international tourism will follow. So we have plans. I've had meetings with tourism stakeholders, and we are already participating in a number of events to promote Lamu. And most importantly, what makes people not to come to Lamu is the fact that it's difficult to get to Lamu. The road is in a bad condition. though I'm happy that the repairs have started on our road and the airport. There is plan to extend the airport, the runway, and once that happens, Kenya Airways will be able to fly into Lamu. The runway will be long enough to accommodate the jets.
Planes,
yes.
Yeah.
So that is in place. As we speak, my county executive in charge of tourism is attending tourism forum in Malaysia. As we try, we need not only to look at the West, but we also have to look at the East.
Given the effect of that insecurity and the likelihood that it will take a long time to restore confidence in visitors of tourist nature, especially foreign ones, to come to Lamu, wouldn't you be looking at alternative ways of revamping the economy of Lamu?
No, we were...
So that it's not tourism dependent?
No. We have interventions in all our major economic activities. First, let me remind you that the LAPSET project is in the offing. When that happens, that will be a game changer as far as the economy of Lamu is concerned.
Right.
So that is a big intervention, and as a county government, we fully support the LAPSET project. We want it executed like yesterday. There have been issues with compensation.
Yes.
We want that resolved as soon as possible. So that is one that we are really looking forward to. But we are trying to revive our agriculture. Without peace, farmers had planted. In fact, this year we were going to have bumper crops. Yeah. But because of the insecurity, people could not even access their farms. And in the end, the monkeys devoured the maize and other crops. So we are revamping our agriculture sector. We have bought tractors to help farmers in cultivation. We have put an order to buy certified seeds. And most importantly, we are engaging with marketers, so that we want, end of the day, the farmer to have more in his pocket than what is usually the case, that middlemen come and really exploit them. And but our tourism...
These things you are saying, providing seeds and more tractors, how are they being used directly to benefit the people? Are you providing this free, or do you have a service?
We are providing a tractor service at a very discounted rate, because we have to maintain the tractors, we have to operate them.
Yes.
We have an agricultural training center in Mpeketoni. We had bought 6 tractors the last budget. We intend to acquire more this year, because agriculture is a very important economic activity for us. Yes. Similarly, for fishing, the fishing sector, our fishermen, they have been fishing the same well that happened for the last 500 years.
Yes.
They still use the dhow, the sailboats to go out. Yeah. With the dhow, they can't really go into the deep sea. So as we speak, we have already acquired outboard machines, which we want to provide to the fishermen, and that will enable them to be more effective. Because with the sea, if there's no wind, and even if you have a catch, to get it back to shore, and the sun gets depressingly hot here, there was a lot of wastage. So as part of that intervention, we have done that. We have acquired about 24 outboard machines, which we will be supplying to the fishermen. We have also developed a cold storage facility in a place called Faza. So all these are interventions that we have. Women and youth groups, we have been engaging them. some women groups, we are buying cattle to help them. These are the bulls to help them increase their herds. And some women groups, we are even buying chicken for them. This is as a way of uplifting their standard of living.
Lamu is going to considerably change when LAPSET comes. And you know, Lamu is UNESCO.
Yes.
Because of the traditions, Islamic traditions, the buildings. Is that, but in fact, in Lamu, there are no vehicles there.
That's
I think
true.
there's only one vehicle to belong to the commissioner. Isn't that going to disrupt the whole system and ruin the environment?
I just first, I was chair of the National Museum for 9 years.
Yes.
So heritage is my forte. And I can tell you we are taking all possible measures to ensure that Lamu does not lose its World Heritage listing with UNESCO. And I actually attended a conference on all cities in Morocco this year just to see and on the challenges of development vis-a-vis protecting our heritage. For your information, the port is coming a bit of a distance away from Lamu. So there is no immediate danger about Lamu. But the danger will come if we have more people now moving in and wanting to develop. And we are going to put proper legislative measures to ensure that that protection is there. For one, we will still not allow vehicles on Lamu Island. And we always tell people when you come to Lamu, please wear your walking shoes. It's even healthier.
What about the protection of cattle? There was a lot of problems there with the buildings and particularly the rear side of Lamu, where there are no buildings there.
Right.
And there are no ships that go there.
Yes.
And there are some people who are located land in that area.
Right.
I remember during my time. What was that matter resolved?
The matter was resolved, and a number of the titles were cancelled. And mind you, the planning and the planning docket is now with the county government, and somebody coming with a proposal to build something in areas that we deem are very important for the environment. Rest assured that we shall not allow such a development.
Well, you're watching Power Breakfast coming to you live from the Serena Beach Resort and Spa. If you want to contribute to this discussion, you have a question for the governor for Lamu, we're hosting here. The number is 22422. You can send us your text, or you can tweet power_breakfast, and then we will put your question to the governor. And you've already done that, some of you. Governor, people congratulating you for the position you've taken of forgiveness. There's no need for revenge. Frank Maina from Kiambu said, it's so good to see His Excellency Timammy forgiving on national television. May God bless you, sir. Somebody asked, of course this is about the attack. People think that your government should have taken a little more interest or action when the attack happened. That when you were informed about the attack that night, what steps did you take to assist your people, because they were left on their own? There were no hotlines, there was nothing they could do. What was the response? Taking you back a little.
No, thank you. As I said, when that happened, I was actually on Lamu Island.
Yes.
And that night, I did not sleep the whole night. That is not action, but I was in constant communication with people at Mpeketoni. A number of people had my number, and they were calling me, of course, seeking help. I can tell you that I was at the Lamu seafront. There were additional police who were leaving Lamu Island to go to the mainland, to go to Mpeketoni, and they had no boats. I provided boats to take them across, and we were in constant touch with the security people. We notified, that is the action that I took. We notified all relevant authorities that this is happening, and we need to send forces into Mpeketoni to help them. We were in contact with the GSU, we were in contact with the High Command in Nairobi.
Yeah. People have accused the security forces of taking long to respond. What was your assessment? Was it very difficult, and is Lamu easily navigable, even now, if there is an insecurity of that kind?
Until today,
Yes.
I'm really at a loss as to why our security personnel did not get to Mpeketoni in time.
Took long.
They were aware from as early as at about 9 o'clock, and they never reached Mpeketoni in good time. That is a question that I am still at a loss as to.
But they have since
what
deployed,
happened.
and the security presence on the ground is sufficient to your satisfaction.
As we speak now, they have deployed, and we are happy. But we hope that this will not be a temporary measure. We hope that we will have more security forces who will be at the disposal of those in charge in Lamu.
All right, thank you so much, Governor Issa Timammy, for joining us on Power Breakfast. Don't go away. Today we have a double treat. We are going to focus a little more on the hotel industry and what is going on because of the insecurity in this area. And the stakeholders will be joining us after a short break. So stay with us on Power Breakfast.